Hello, folks. This is Joe from My Geek Scene. I'm here at the Michigan Renaissance Festival with the Amazing Flec. Flec, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm here with Joe from My Geek Scene, so I'm doing just wonderful. How are you?
Well, I'm fair to Midland, slightly cold. It's a little chilled today, but I'm completely cool with that. For those of you who don't know, Flec is a contact juggler, tightrope walker, and he does a myriad of cool things like fire devil sticks, what we were talking about prior to the interview. So, what is contact juggling?
Well, contact juggling is kind of like a combination of magic, dance, and juggling combined together, where you take an object, in the case what I'm working with are round clear spheres, and we use them and manipulate them in a certain way to make them look like they're floating or rolling up and down the body in certain ways. So that's contact juggling in short, pretty much, is juggling while you're in contact with what you're juggling.
I mean, last year, during what was it, the Queen show, like in the castle, I watched you do that, but the ball wasn't made out of crystal, but it was made out of fire, and you were rolling that all over the place, and I thought that was amazing when I caught that. And I was like, I definitely got to interview that dude, you know. Dude, it was pretty cool.
It was really hot, actually. The fire was real fire.
I saw what you did there. Why did you choose that particular performance art to pursue?
Well, in a way, it almost picked me, right? Because I never thought that I would be doing anything like this until I was curious about someone else doing it. Here at the festival, actually, back when I was like 15 years old, back near the joust field, there was someone doing the contact juggling. It was a patron. It wasn't like an entertainer here. And he took some time out to show me what he was doing and made me believe in myself enough to give it a shot. And then, so I went home and I put on The Labyrinth with David Bowie and Bruised Up in Orange, trying to learn how to do it that night, and didn't quite learn it very well. But then I practiced more and more, and I eventually got to doing that. And I guess what I mean by it is that it picked me, is that I never expected to be doing that, and I found myself practicing all the time. I'd be out in public practicing, and then one time someone gave me $1 when I'm out in public practicing and said, "That's amazing," and they walk away. And that's when it kind of changed for me. It's like, wait, maybe I could do something I actually enjoy to get by in life, instead of getting one of these jobs that all the adults hate going to all the time.
So just by meeting a patron with they had a crystal ball as well?
They had those Chinese medicine balls,
Oh,
the ones with the chime inside. Yeah.
That's how you got started?
That's how I got started, was that fellow. I don't remember his name, but I doubt that he remembers me at all. I was just another person he was talking to, but...
I mean, I mentioned at the beginning of this interview, tightrope walking and fire devil sticks. So who were your performance mentors?
Oh, okay. So the Devil Sticks performance mentors would have to be Bill Vestal from the Crystal Sticks booth here at the festival. I used to come here when I was a young man and spent a lot of time over there. So Bill Vestal got me started with the Crystal Sticks. And ultimately, the Devil Sticks or Crystal Sticks are what really got me interested in juggling and in performance art in general. Otherwise, I probably never would have really pursued anything in that direction, to be honest.
Did you have to go to somebody for tightrope walking as well, or is that just something that you decided to keep trying?
That was something I started doing when I was in college in my early 20s. I would walk the handrails at Macomb Community College South Campus, just long handrails, and I would just get on them and try balancing, and I figured, oh, I can balance on these. And if you can balance on something and you can take a step, what's another step but another step? And I got used to doing that, and then I took an interest in slacklining and wire walking after that. So I went out and bought wires and various ropes and experimented with balancing on things, both taut and slacked. And it's a fun hobby, and it's a good way to stay active, I suppose, too.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, granted, yes, I think my first exposure to you was at the Michigan Renaissance Festival. You have performed elsewhere. So could you talk about your time on The Wizard of Oz?
Oh, The Wizard of Oz. That was a show that me and some friends in the sideshow circus scene, the Squidling Brothers Circus Sideshow, and Reverend Mackenzie Maltov was the lady who really was the figurehead of putting that whole production together. That was a fun one. We did a couple of shows and a couple of runs with it. I think we did maybe 3 or 4 different shows, some in Detroit and then some in Ohio. But that was a very fun event to be part of.
What was your character?
Oh, I was 3 different characters.
Okay.
So I was a little bit of Professor Marvel. I was the doorman for the Emerald City. Ain't nobody gonna see the wizard. Ain't nobody, ain't no how. Yeah. And I was also one of the 3 in the Lollipop Guild. That was a lot of fun. We got to walk around on our knees and have big old lollipops and be ridiculous. That was fun.
You also work at Theater Bazaar.
Yes,
So,
I do, yeah.
I ran into you last year when I went for the first time, and you perform as a clown. Did you choose that persona, or did they choose that for you?
Well, the interesting thing about Theater Bazaar is no matter what you do, to be a part of that, you have to blend who you are with Theater Bazaar. So I'm naturally kind of clowny and silly and ridiculous, and it made sense to be a clown because a lot of their characters within the production are either clowns or devils, and we've tried out both. I'm more of a clown by nature, it seems, yeah. So it's kind of a marriage of my personality with what they wanted me to present myself as for the party.
Okay. Well, I didn't get to see it in person. Can you talk about the Devil's Tightrope?
Oh, yeah. The Devil's Tightrope is actually an act that was dreamed up by John Donovan. John Donovan is the creator of Theater Bazaar, actually. And there was a number of people involved with the party who do something called skin suspension. Are you familiar with skin suspension?
Yes.
Okay, so for the viewers back, skin suspension is when you take hooks, big fish hooks with the barb filed off of them, and put them into the flesh, like hooked right into the skin like a piercing, a good inch thick right into the flesh. And people hang from these hooks and from ropes and stuff. For the Devil's Tightrope, what we do is we have a couple of fellows who put the hooks in their back, and they pull against the line so tight that they can actually hold my weight on it while I'm bouncing on it, like a slack line. And to make the act dangerous, we light it on fire, in case it wasn't dangerous enough. But
I mean, I've seen plenty of videos of that, so I think that's an amazing feat, you know.
Oh, it takes 2 feet to do it.
Once again, I see what you did there.
Thanks for having me.
He'll be here all week, folks.
I'll be here all weekend, yeah.
Be sure to tip your wait staff. So what can you tell us about Lunkle's Boink?
Lunkle's Boink. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you've done some research here.
I do my
Lunkle's
research.
Boink is a troupe that specializes in short attention span theater, and was active at Electric Forest Festival this year. I was involved with Lunkle's Boink the past 3 years at Electric Forest Festival, and they're a lot of fun to work with. We move into an area, we do a short little set that makes everyone laugh. It could be as short as 30 seconds, it could be as long as 10 minutes, but we feel the crowd out, and we go based off of how they're feeling. And if we get just a couple of laughs, we move on, but if people are really engaging, we really stick with it. But Lunkle's Boink is a very fun group to be involved with, and that's brought on by Vujade Productions.
Because one of the shows is at Sporty Ball.
Sporty Ball, that's right, Sporty Ball.
And I guess one of the other shows is the Reverse Strip Show, where they end up putting on more and more layers of clothes.
Yeah, Lunkle's Boink is not just any one small group of people. It's dozens of people, spearheaded by Vujade Productions once again. It's a number of different people doing different different groups of interaction with people at the festival. So Sporty Ball was a group of 6 of us that all worked together. And then Lunkle's Boink also had several other groups walking around the forest at that time.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they did, some of them did specialize in the reverse striptease, which is just as exciting as it sounds.
So we've been going about the shows that you've performed in, but I would like to learn a little bit more about you as the person behind all these acts. So what was your first exposure to the performance community? Not the Ren Fair scene.
I think to the performance community, that's a good distinction to make, because I got started performing before I met the community of people that I am surrounded in that are performance artists. And the first time I did that was an event called Detroit Circus Part 2. And it was an event hosted by my friend Lulu Bannerton, who's passed away recently, I think last year.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, these things happen, I suppose, but she was a wonderful, marvelous person. She was very active in the Burning Man scene, the local burner community, and she was really good. Her big thing was act local, not global, because that's how you can really make an impact, is locally. If you can act locally with your local community, you can make bigger changes that way than feeling helpless and casting a vote and hoping that something happens. But anyway, she put together this marvelous event called Detroit Circus, and that's when I saw all these other local artists that do other strange, unusual things on stage in front of groups of people. And that was my first time, I think, on stage, was this little Detroit Circus at the old furniture factory downtown Detroit. Just a little venue, but we made a big scene out of this little building. It was a lot of fun. And that's how I got my start. And I met Tim TV, as well as the rest of the Fire Fabulon troupe. So I got my exposure with fire juggling with the experts. I was lucky to discover that in my early 20s. And yeah.
Awesome. You interject bits of comedy into your performances. So, and you've been doing that in this interview.
Do you think I'm funny?
Are we going like Joe Pesci? Oh, I thought we were like going Joe Pesci from like, it was a Casino, but Goodfellas. Like, how am I funny?
How am I funny?
Comedic influences, sir.
Oh, comedic influences. Well, I like a lot of one-liners and I like a lot of deadpan humor. So I have to say I grew up watching Stephen Wright. I'm not as funny as that guy. I'll never will be as funny as that guy, but that's the kind of style I like.
So monotone and serious when he delivers his punchline every single time.
Sometimes it's not the joke that's funny, it's the delivery. And when someone says something that's funny and they're not laughing at all, it can make it funnier for some reason. But I like all sorts of comedy and all sorts of angles. I like the quick wit and the high energy of Robin Williams and of Gallagher. I love the cynicism of George Carlin. I love the playfulness of Gene Wilder. Like all the classics. They're classic for a reason. They're quality entertainers.
For sure. Since you like George Carlin, did you like Bill Hicks too?
Oh, I loved Bill Hicks. I liked him a lot, especially as a comedian, because he considered himself not only to be like a comedian, but he considered himself to be a social commentator first and foremost. And I liked what his style. Like it's easier to get through to people if you can make them laugh.
I agree.
You'll never change someone's mind by calling them sheeple or making fun of their position. You have to kind of seduce them in a way with humor, and maybe they can think about things a little differently than they did before.
Yeah, if you're not, I mean, like when you tell people to squeegee open their third eye, there's, I don't think that would carry so well if he was just telling people. But he,
take psychedelic drugs, as you know, but no, the squeegee on the third eye is when he took the mushrooms.
I love this bit on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno from his Rant in E minor album. You know, when he was talking about how apparently he felt that Jay had sold out by doing a Doritos commercial, and then he just goes into this long spiel, and I thought it was hilarious. Rant in E minor, folks. If you want to check out a Bill Hicks album, I would certainly.
Rant in E minor is a good one. I have to vouch for it too.
Yeah, it's great.
2 out of 2 geeks agree. Rant in E minor. Check it out.
So, how does Yahoo Serious represent you in some way?
Oh, Yahoo Serious. I think that was. I'm guessing you're getting that from a Facebook post. I'm imagining. So the challenge was
that is true. So
pick a couple of fictional characters that you feel represent you in some way. I liked watching Yahoo Serious and the one movie that he starred in that we all know very well, Young Einstein. Yeah. I liked his style of humor too. I liked how he was kind of oblivious, playing a genius character, but he was oblivious to the funny things he was doing. And Yahoo Serious, it's a funny play on words, like Yahoo, but I'm serious kind of thing. I don't know. He kind of does remind me of one of my first fire mentors. I said Fire Fabulon and Tim TV. Mm-hmm. Tim TV has similar mannerisms to how Yahoo Serious was on. I don't know if he's going to appreciate it or not. Hi, Tim, if you're watching.
I hope he checks it
out.
out.
Yahoo Serious kind of reminds me of you in a way. But Tim TV, though, is an amazing fellow, and he's definitely his own person. I've never met anyone quite like that man, but yeah.
I mean, now that you brought up Young Einstein, I think there was an actor in it called Alexei Sayle, who was from this TV show called The Young Ones that I really dug back in the day.
Oh, wow. I never put that together.
It just dawned on me when you were talking about it. I was like, oh, yeah, that dude's in that film, I think.
And who did he play? Did he play
I don't. I mean,
his rival, the fellow who was?
I don't know. I haven't seen Young Einstein. It's been at least 2 decades since I've seen that film, to be honest with you.
But if you haven't seen the young ones, check it out.
For sure. Rick Mayall and Adrian Edmondson. Oh, when they were the Dangerous Brothers too. I was like, I British comedy, like anarchist British comedy is hilarious.
Very much so, yeah.
So, favorite works by Neil Gaiman.
Favorite works by Neil Gaiman.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see. I'm getting through the Sandman bits right now, and then Stardust. Those are I think maybe the most well-known ones is Stardust and the Sandman series.
I mean, you could say Coraline.
You could say Coraline, yeah. I have enjoyed that one too.
And the recent it's been on Stars, American Gods.
Yes, I guess there are more well-known pieces, but those are the ones that I've particularly got into, and I've also gotten into people referencing him and vice versa. So I'm a big fan of Tori Amos.
Okay.
And Tori actually references Neil in a song called "Tear in Your Hand." I don't know if you guys know that back at home either, but now you do.
The only song I know by Tori Amos is "Past the Mission" with Trent Reznor.
Good tune.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I caught that on a long time ago on public access.
Wow.
When I was in high school. So there was this show called Dream Vision in Grand Rapids,
Mm-hmm.
and this dude called himself Dan the Goth Kid would play. I mean, he would play Nine Inch Nails videos and Marilyn Manson videos unedited, and then like at one point, and a lot of Cure and Susie and the Banshees. And then at one point, he
I
played
love that stuff.
Past the Mission with Tori Amos and Trent Reznor, and I think that it was because Trent was on it. But I was like, this is a pretty cool song. You know?
That makes sense. I liked all the different stuff that she did, and with that, I think her and Trent dated for a little while.
Oh,
and then
I wasn't aware of that.
That ended sour. Yeah. For all those people who like that sort of stuff about celebrities dating, hashtag another fact for you.
So, I couldn't figure it out while doing research on it. Do you like anime?
Yeah.
What do you like?
Well, let's see. I got my start interested in anime with Vampire Hunter D. Was probably one of, and Akira. Like that's a big one for a lot of people. I do like some of the newer stuff that's been out. I like the works from Samurai Champloo and Cowboy Bebop.
Shinichiro Watanabe, the director of those 2 shows.
Gesundheit. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But for serious though, I love that stuff a lot, and I know that I'd like to thank Adult Swim on Cartoon Network. For that.
For sure.
I'm plugging in a lot of other things today.
That and Toonami from back in the day too.
Right. Yeah. Well remembered. I almost forgot about Toonami. But
No, I mean, like, I love Bebop. That's one of my top 5 anime series of all time, hands down. So you mentioned Vampire Hunter D.
Yeah.
Did you watch Bloodlust, the sequel to it?
Yeah. I liked the first one more. The second one was all right, but
Okay.
I guess a little more like I like the old school feel of it and the more kind of, I'm not gonna say sloppy hand drawn stuff, but the stuff that like noticeably hand drawn. It's got more of that an edge to it. I see.
Okay.
But
I mean, there's like a new show that came out recently that's nothing but hand drawn animation called Megalo Box.
ooh.
So it hasn't been translated. It hasn't been dubbed for us, but that's been making the rounds, and I heard that it's amazing. Another show that I recently checked out was by the same crew that did Bebop, but by the guy who created Trigun. I don't know if you remember that.
I do like.
Yasuhiro Naito. The show is called Blood Blockade Battlefront. So.
Ooh, say that 10 times fast.
I can't.
Not with that attitude. I believe in you. You can do anything you put your mind to. Oh, I also like Gangsuo. I think that's how you pronounce it, but it's the Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
It's a standard, I think, 24 episode series.
Okay.
Oh,
Have
it was
not
so
seen
good
that.
though.
I heard it was good.
You know, if you know the classic tale of the Count of the Monte Cristo,
Was
the
it
Count
a classic revenge
by
tale?
Dumas, it's a classic revenge tale. But what they've done with it is they've changed the set and setting into the future in outer space. So it's really well done though. Like at first I was kind of dismissive of it. I was like, I don't know about this, and I watched it. And at first the animation's even strange and foreign.
Is
like
one
the
of the
way
characters
they
a
put
vampire
layers
too?
On it. That's the jury's out on that one. You
'Cause I
have to
think I read
watch
a
to find
manga.
out. Yeah.
I think I read a manga volume based on the show. So
That could be. I know that at one point, one of the people in the cartoons accuses him or suggests that he looks like a vampire.
Okay.
But I can't tell you who or what or when or why. You have to watch Gangsuo to find out.
So, on to the next subject. Is Final Fantasy VII one of your favorite video games? And if so, why?
Yeah. I'm guilty of a lot of liking the pop culture end of things, it seems. But Final Fantasy VII
It was an amazing game back in the day.
It was, and it still is an amazing story. I liked it a lot. I guess I was a little younger, more impressionable, and when I first picked it up, I liked the idea of Cloud. And I did cry when Eris died.
Oh, for sure.
I didn't
too, dude.
cry.
No, I cried.
I teared up a bit. You know, I
was legit crying when the song hit. I was just like, oh god, I can't keep it in.
That's the hallmark of a good story is when you actually feel it. We both know she doesn't exist. She's not even real, but we still feel the things for this fictional character. That's a good story.
Have you seen Advent Children?
Yes, I have.
All right, that's right to the point.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I bought it when it first came out on DVD, and then when I found out there was like a Blu-ray with 26 additional minutes of footage actually spliced into the film.
26 more minutes?
Yes.
That's one more than 25. That's a lot of extra minutes.
He's got jokes. So, all right, we mentioned Final Fantasy VII. Do you have any other favorite video games?
Oh, dear. Yeah, quite a few.
I know you weren't expecting these sort of questions for like a Red Fair interview.
It's all good. I remember playing a lot of GoldenEye for Nintendo 64.
Oh, I got
back in
trounced
high
on that
school.
all the time.
I think I've lost a whole summer to that game. Not just one. It was 3 separate summers. You add up all that time together, though. That was like one whole summer. And we had our friends as we played. Let's see, Diablo 3. Just if you're in the mood for mindlessly clicking on monsters and picking up loot, that's the game for you. I still enjoy it from time to time. Ultima Online, the Second Age, it's like a server that's preserved in the Second Age era mechanics of... It's stuck in 1999. How the game Ultima Online was in 1999. It's a free server, UO Second Age.
Okay.
So for those who are interested in MMORPGs, that was one of the ones that really kind of... no other games come quite close to it since then. But mostly what I play this day, it's not necessarily a video game, but it has a lot to do with strategy games in mainland Asia, if that helps. It's a game called Go. I play a lot of Go. It's a game with a black and white
it's like
stones.
It's not Japanese chess, but I know it's a Japanese game.
Yeah, it's from mainland Asia, so it originally comes from like China.
Okay,
but it was popularized in the United States during World War II because of Japan.
Okay.
Because of the camps that we set up here. And
I know
put
they
a bunch
did
of
a manga
Japanese
on it back in
people
the day.
inside of these camps during World War II because I guess we didn't know who was what and what was who. Anyways, that was a horrible time in history, but they were playing Go in there because all it took was a grid and different colored coins or stones to play the game.
Okay.
But it's a beautiful game. I love it very much.
My only exposure to it is a manga that I read.
Hikaru no Go.
Thank you.
That's the name of it. Yeah, that's a good manga. I read at least a good the first fifth of it, and then I watched the cartoons. And
did you read any other mangas then? I guess we could circle back to that topic. I wasn't expecting to.
What other ones? Nothing noteworthy that I've read all the way through. I don't think so. What other manga? I picked up Ranma Half way back in high school.
Rumiko Takahashi.
Gesundheit.
Do you do that for all Japanese names?
No, I say it every time someone says something that sounds like it could be perceived as a sneeze.
She was the one who did Ramna One Half.
I recycle my jokes. It's good to be environmentally conscious.
Wow, that was a good spin, actually.
Thanks.
I do enjoy that. So you mentioned Ramna One Half. Was there anything else?
Like I said,
that wasn't even on my
really
list of
comes
questions.
to mind. Nothing really comes to mind. It was easier for me, being someone who was diagnosed with ADD in 3rd grade. It was always easier for me to play video games or watch TVs and movies. And it wasn't until maybe after high school during high school I picked up more and more books, but I've been reading a lot more books since then.
Nice. So, favorite Flaming Lips album or song?
Oh, man, these are good questions.
Oh,
These
thank you.
Fantastic questions.
Thank you. I try, sir. Thank you.
Wow. Oh, man. Flaming Lips has written a lot of very, very beautiful tunes. I guess a couple of them that I really like a lot is a lot of it's on Yoshimi Battles
Those
the
the
Pink Robots.
I've
Yeah.
actually listened to that album for research for another interview that I did earlier this year, and that's not a bad album.
It's a great one. It flows very well. In the Morning of the Magicians, Do You Realize is one of the most beautiful songs ever written, in my opinion.
I like Are You a Hypnotist?
I've actually done contact juggling routines to that song.
Oh, okay.
And Wayne Coyne, I'm sorry if you don't want me using that song. Please just email me, theamazingflec@gmail.com. Just tell me, hey, Fleck, stop that. And I'll be like, Wayne, you are a god among men. I will stop doing that.
I'm
but
pretty
until
sure
then,
he'd
I'm
be
going to
pretty
keep
stoked about that,
honoring-
though.
I think he seems to be like a pretty all right guy, and I think that I don't think he would mind. And if he does mind, I'm willing to stop for you guys. But yeah, the Flaming Lips, wonderful group, and I think one of my favorite songs that those other ones are more well known, but one of them I like a lot that not a lot of people have heard of. I think is Raining Babies.
Okay.
I like that song a lot.
So why is that meaningful to you, though?
Well, a lot of the Flaming Lips songs, some are more relatable than others, and usually they all have a silly kind of twist to them. But I really like the overall feel of the song, like the melody mixed with how he's singing it, this desperation in his voice. And I'm not going to try singing it because I can't sing like Wayne, but it's a beautiful tune, I guess. It just, for personal reasons.
No, that's fair.
Some of the words, it invokes like imagery or memories in my own mind about good times past.
No, I mean, it works for me. So you play a bit of guitar in your free time.
Yeah.
Influential guitarist.
My Uncle Don Curtis, he's passed away. He gave me all my guitars, except for 2. But he did a good job helping me believe in myself that I can play guitar. And I like him a lot. I like a lot of the finger picking people. Happy Traum was a big influence on my Uncle Don. And I just recently got a couple of his DVDs to learn how to finger pick.
Ah, okay.
Some classic ballads. So Delia's Gone is a tune I'm currently working on that my uncle tried showing me before he passed away. But I got it now, Uncle Don. I'll keep practicing.
May I make a suggestion?
Yeah,
for
please.
a group to check out? The Super Guitar Bros. So,
Super Guitar Bros?
Yep. 2 dudes, both classically trained on the acoustic guitar. Classical guitar. One plays nylon strings, the other Sam plays nylon strings, Steve plays steel strings.
Okay.
And they do acoustic renditions of video game tunes.
Nice.
And they're based out of Michigan, actually, the Detroit area. They're amazing.
Super Guitar Bros?
Super Guitar Bros.
The Super Guitar Bros. Check it out on your social media.
Well, folks who actually follow my channel know about them because I did like an hour-long interview with those two because those two are super cool.
Oh, then they already know.
Yeah.
All right, then, folks. Think for yourselves. Back at home.
So, best concert that you've been to?
Ooh, best concert. Oh, there's
Or
been-
concerts?
Well, the most recent one I went to, which was amazing, I saw David Byrne in Philly, actually, just the other week. just
Same
last
as it
week.
ever was.
Same as it ever was. Yo, that was an amazing show. They were all wearing gray suits. The drum kit was busted down in little bits, and they hung a snare drum on one person, a couple toms another person, someone else has a snare drum, someone else has the hi-hat, and they did this marching band style performance, but with a lot of theater in the movements with them. It was just a wonderful show. It's amazing what you can do with good choreography and a very, very simple set. It was a wonderful performance. And I've seen the Flaming Lips perform a couple times. We want to go back
Okay.
to them. They put on a great show, high energy show. And of course, Pictus does an amazing show as well here at the Renaissance Festival, one of my favorite groups. I'm right next to them. I hear them 3 times a day, and I still enjoy them. I still get down and dance to them.
They're pretty good from the times that I've checked them out. I remember when I was at this show last year called the Midwinter Pleasure Fair and Pictus. It was like an indoor Renaissance festival. And whatever group, I mean, they had groups performing at the same time. And whenever Pictus was performing, they were drowning out everybody.
Oh, they give it all. Each performance, they go up there. They can have 2 people in the audience, or they can have 200, and they're gonna blow you away either way. And then one of my favorite things about them is their humility, right? As human beings, when they get off stage, they go out there and they'll shake hands and talk to anyone who wants to talk to them and meet them. And
They've been totally cool.
yeah, they're wonderful people. They're absolutely wonderful people.
So, dream concert for you?
A dream concert, a concert that I've always wanted to go to.
Yes. Whether they're alive or dead. Well,
Yeah,
if you could travel back in time, we're just doing the theoretically thing.
I want to see Dave and Bowie and Prince performing live with Freddie Mercury. Would be fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah, I would love to see all three of them. It'd be great. Let's throw Elton John in there too. Let's have a party.
A voice actor I interviewed said like he watched Elton John perform, but he had to walk out into the lobby of the concert venue because it was so loud.
Oh,
and he was
really?
not expecting that from like Elton John. And I wouldn't even think of that either with Elton John, but he's like he literally had to walk out into the lobby because he didn't have earplugs with him because it was so loud.
Oh, wow.
So if you do see Elton John, keep that in mind.
I'll wear the earplugs.
Well, that would be sound advice regardless whenever you go to a concert.
Yeah. I mean, I've done a lot of work in nightclubs where I haven't wore ear protection. So I have some friends I have close to me. They say that there's something wrong with my ears, but I just like, what? I mean, I don't know what they're saying sometimes.
Oh, no, man.
They need to speak up. I hear perfectly fine.
I got to wear earplugs every time I go to any place with, like, loudness. I have to. I lost hearing in this ear temporarily for about 2 weeks once, and I was like, if I ever get my hearing back, I will wear earplugs every single time. And it wasn't like I was like at a cool show, like, yeah, I saw Slayer and lost hearing in this year. No, it was at an Eve 6 show in Grand Rapids.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, how lame of that, how lame of me to lose my hearing to Eve 6 of all bands.
It could have been worse, you know. It could have been Hanson or something like that.
I would have preferred Hanson because that would have been like slightly cooler. That would have been like a
little
cool
more
story.
street cred with the hippies.
Oh, that would have been like a cool story to tell somebody like, so you lost your hearing? Yeah, to who? Hanson, dude. Bob's nothing to mess around with, and it punctured my eardrum.
That's some heavy shit, yeah.
So as we're wrapping this up, I would like to go into the final three questions.
Sure.
What does the Renaissance performance community mean to you?
Well, you know, I've been coming here and working here since 2003 or 4 at the Crystal Sticks booth, and officially hired in 2006 as the Amazing Flec doing the contact juggling. And throughout the years of being here, you see people come and go, but there's a number of people who've been here ever since I started who are still here to this day. And there's nothing quite like working here. It means like it's like a family away from your home, right? Because we're here 7 weekends in a row. It's not like your typical contract job. This is the longest job I've ever had here at the Renaissance Festival. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is it means to me more than words I can put words on it. Because
that's
fair. It's a part of what I've been doing with my life for a long time, almost how long has it been? Almost 20 years then, maybe? I don't know.
I didn't go that deep, dude.
Yeah, it's been a long time is what I'm getting at. And you have a lot of different folks here from different walks of life that accept each other for who we are, or rather for whatever costumes we're wearing. But at the end of the day, we're all in this together, even if we are alone in our spots all throughout the day, working on interactions with complete strangers. And foundations like Rescue, for instance, that's an example of.
Oh, that's a cool organization.
That's a great organization for the viewers who don't know what Rescue is. Rescue is a foundation or an organization that helps assist people who work at Renaissance festivals, but due to their self-employed status, have a really hard time getting affordable health insurance. I'm a self-employed person myself, and I struggle with having affordable health insurance, and it's good to know that things like that are around. Because a lot of the people who are involved with the Renaissance Fest and people who do that, they know what it's like to work this sort of job, and they look out for each other. Yeah. So I just last night I baked 8 loaves of bread to give out to friends that I've worked out here with for the past however long I've been out here working with them. So yeah, it's a family away from family, a home away from home in a way, and there's no job quite like it, and there's no festival quite like this one. For me.
Wow.
It's actually the only Renaissance festival that I work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's actually
I've worked other ones, but not regularly.
not like I rate the answers, but that's a high-quality answer right there, sir. I could tell that it was completely heartfelt, so that's awesome.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I mean, truth be told, I'm kind of like a little stumped on how to answer something like that when you're trying hard to put things into words, so thank you.
So if people wanted to find out more about you online, where could they go?
Well, they can look up the Amazing Flec or Douglas M. Shell on Facebook. But truth be told, all you're really going to find on there is pictures and some movies and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm not really good at having an online presence. I just go out and do things, and the reason I keep getting hired is because of word of mouth. And yeah, I'm also an event entertainment producer for other events. So I'll put together entertainment packages for other events where, after working in entertainment for such a long time, you find other people who are very talented, and so if I can't do it, I know someone who can. So I guess if you're going to be going online looking for me, sorry, that's my Facebook. You might find stuff on there, but stay tuned though. Maybe I'll get better at it. Maybe.
And I think you'll be amazing at it.
Well, the goal this winter is to get my Patreon up and going.
Nice.
And I think that'd be a really wise decision. And then getting the Amazing Flec.com up and running.
Oh yeah, that would certainly help.
It would probably help a lot. Yeah.
I mean, that's where I put all my contact is on the amazingflec.com. I'll sell you that website URL.
Go to theamazingflec.com after I buy it from him.
No, but like having a URL is very helpful, like for mygeekscene.com, like just
it really does.
Brand all of that stuff, dude. Like if you have a YouTube channel, Twitter,
all
Facebook,
of the social media
under the same name, it makes it a lot easier, dude.
Don't forget to hashtag Flec, get your stuff together on social media for your chance to win big.
Final question. What would you like to say to your fans throughout the years?
Thank you very much for your continued support over the years. Whether you've dropped $1 in a tip basket, whether you purchased a ball from me at the Renaissance Festival, or whether you just clapped in the crowd and encouraged me to keep doing what I'm doing. At the end of the day, if I didn't have people who were watching me and appreciating what I'm doing as an artist, I would just be doing it at my home in front of my cat. And frankly, she's not impressed with my stuff anymore.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much for being there for me over the years.
As cats are wanting to do.
Artists are nothing without people appreciating the work that they make. So thank you.
Well, Flec, thank you so much for this interview.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure, Joe.
Oh, no problem, dude. Well, folks, this is Joe from My Geek Scene here at the Michigan Renaissance Festival with the Amazing Flec. Take it easy.